What is up, my dudes? It's your boy Musha, back again with another video. I know it's been a while since my last one, but we're here now, we're back, and we're starting off with a new topic today, and actually a new series that I'm going to be releasing videos on about fundamentals. This was requested about a month and a half ago from one of my viewers. So it's finally here. I know that I had finals and stuff like that, but we're here and we're covering it now. So it's going to be a couple of different videos because it's too much to talk about one video. But this video is going to be centered around basically pokes. So pokes and you know, kind of like explaining a little bit neutral. So a good place to start with any fighting game, not just Mortal Kombat, is to understand what neutral is. So to cover pokes, we have to understand that. So let's go ahead and explain neutral. So neutral, when people say neutral, oh, what do you do in the neutral? They play good neutral, things like that. What they're talking about is this situation. When you're not exactly in striking range, but you're also not full screen in zoning range. So they're talking about right here. And the thing is that most players actually don't know what to do right here, which is why you'll see one of two habits. I'm picking Sub-Zero and Scorpion because they're really easy to show this with. So with Sub-Zero, how many times have you guys seen something like this? They're here and they just random slide. They don't know what to do, so they go ahead, they maybe throw an ice ball, they throw another one, you block it, and they get frustrated, so they just random slide. That's a player that doesn't know how to play neutral. They don't really know how to play the game. What they're trying to do is shortcut navigating the space between you so they can actually open up and get an attack. But that's not what you should do. Another thing you might see that people try to use to shortcut neutral is this. They'll be here and they'll just jump a lot. They'll try to jump to get a hit in, right? And their whole idea is that, well, if I can jump, this is safer than just walking up to you, and it's faster. This is faster than this. So that's kind of what they're thinking, right? But the issue is that if somebody's just jumping at you, like let's just say I put Scorpion to jump forward, right? Right? I can anti-air them and I can actually get a combo. Because it can lead to a lot of damage, just to show you. Right, that's 25% because you jumped at me, you know? And remember that you can't block when you're in the air. When you're in the air, you can't block. So that makes a big difference. At least in Mortal Kombat, you can't block. So jumping is risky. So then what do, right? You can't just do a random move to go in like that, to cover space quickly. And you can't just jump, right? Because they can just hit you out of the air since you can't block. So what you actually do is you poke. You do what's called playing neutral. So you poke. So footsies. Basically what footsies is gauging, being able to play and throwing moves out, throwing pokes out that are within your striking range, but outside of your opponent's striking range. Or if you have less range, in this case Sub-Zero has less range than Scorpion, it's getting within range so that you can then do your pokes, right? So, and to do that, let's go ahead and see like what makes a good poke. So when you think poke, some people just think down one. But that's actually not necessarily all a poke is. Yeah, this is a poke. Most characters, this is one of their pokes. But also down 3 is a poke, stand 2 is a poke for Sub-Zero, for example. Forward 1 is a poke, you know. So there's different pokes, there's different things like that. So a good poke is something that reaches, it covers a good amount of space, and it's quick. So it's something that you can quickly use to check your opponent, because generally you check them walking towards you. In other games, like for example Street Fighter or Tekken, an opponent can't walk towards you and block. They have to walk back in order to block. So in Mortal Kombat we have block buttons, so it's less obvious, but it's the same thing. If Scorpion's just here, and he's just walking forward, oh, I don't think I can actually put him to do that. Okay, that's fine. So let's go ahead and just walk. If he's just here and he's walking forward like that, then a poke is something that will stop him from doing that. And also, I can hit confirm a poke to get a full combo. See? So I can do that entire thing from stand 2. And I can punish the opponent for walking, essentially. So you guys get the idea. Let's go ahead and put him back. But that's basically what a poke is. It's something that you can throw out there to punish them for moving, right? Or to check them. So if they're going to do a move that's like maybe slower, maybe Sub-Zero is going to do back 2, right? Then if Sub-Zero is going to do back 2 and I take control of Scorpion, so he's going to walk up and do that, this is a good poke. That'll interrupt him. every time, for a full combo. Right? And that's a lot of damage, punishing him for doing back 2. See? So Scorpion stand 2 is another good poke for him. That's an excellent poke, stand 2. He can use this to check the space between the opponent and him. See, so if he tries to walk, I could do this, and that forces him to basically block. That's what you want to look for first. If you're learning a character, you want to see what their pokes are. What are good pokes that they have? Sub-Zero has a good stand 2, he has a good forward 1, and generally, like, covering space, having a pretty quick recovery, something that's not high committal, like this is a very slow recovery. See, that's 36 frames of recovery. That's a super slow recovery. So something that has less recovery, like for example, this one also has, I'm back here. That also has, it covers a lot of distance, right? And it recovers in less than 20 frames. So that's not bad as a poke, right? And then the other thing is also that you can usually hit confirm pokes into a combo. So like I said before, if he's walking and I happen to land this, there's a string attached to it, right? 2-1-2. Well, I can turn that into 2-1 and then EX Deadly Day for me. And I can get a full combo for that. That leads to another situation, see? So that's the idea whenever you're playing. That's what you want to do basically. Like you want to, that's how you're going to use your pokes. See? So pokes are things that you can use to basically play neutral, cover the space between you and the opponent, and then punish them if you catch them moving. Or if it connects, see? So it keeps them in check. That's what pokes are. And then there's other pokes that if they don't necessarily connect, they lead you to more opportunities to get in. For example, down 3. I mentioned the down 3 is a good poke. Down 3 doesn't connect. It connects, but it doesn't lead to a combo, right? But what down 3 does do is it gives me frame advantage on hit. See, so if I hit him, if I catch him moving with a down 3, I'm plus 12. So I'm going to make a separate video going more in depth about frames and what all that means. But just to show you, if I put him to go ahead and duck, if I hit him with this stand 3, my stand 2, with this down 3, my stand 2 is guaranteed if he doesn't block. See, so it checks them for not blocking. See, he's set to duck, so this should hit him. It should miss, right? But if I hit him with this, since I'm plus enough, I can get out another button. So you can use that to move in. Usually you move in, you can get a high out. See, like my stand 1 will normally whiff. So if he's mashing a lot, let's just say we have an opponent that's doing this. Right, he's poking a lot. We can go ahead, we can hit him down 3, and then punish him for doing that. And that's basically like what you want to keep an eye out with for pokes. So for Sub-Zero, for example, like I said, we have down 3, we have stand 2, we have forward 1, things like that. Those are his pokes. So using that, we can go ahead and then instead of doing this, and instead of doing this, we can instead play neutral. We can go here, we can walk in, you know, throw out a jab, things like that. Try to basically get the opponent to bait them into doing something and punish them while they're doing it. So for Scorpion, for example, let's look at his buttons. Well, he has this. It's really stubby, and it leads to the launcher, but this isn't really a good poke. The recovery's 25 frames. It's more than 20 frames. And it moves him forward, leaves him pretty exposed. See? But for example, this, the kunai that he throws forward, it's a disjointed hitbox. So the kunai can't get hit. Scorpion won't get hit because they hit the kunai. So because of that, this is a safer button to throw out. He could go ahead, throw this out. The recovery is barely over 20 frames, so it's still pretty good. And he can do that, and most other characters can't really punish him for throwing that out just like that. See, and it's also safe on block is another thing. When you're doing pokes, it needs to be something that you could do even if they block. See? So that's kind of the idea. On block, that's only -2, so it's an excellent button that I can just throw out there. So another sort of risky poke, depending on the range, is back 3. So back 3 can also check them for moving. It is really minus though. So back 3 is best used at a distance where they can't punish you. So for example, if I'm here, back 3 is relatively safe. There aren't really many characters that can punish me even with being -19. But if we're here, for example, then back 3 is horrible. Different pokes are going to be more useful in different situations. This could be good to cast him, for example, like that. So if Sub-Zero is not blocking, let's just say he's walking and I clip him, I can get a full combo this way. See? So think of them as like low-risk ways to try to get in and get opportunities to then get your combos. That's what pokes are going to be. And another good one, actually, sometimes pokes are buttons that are not the first button in a string, but maybe the second one. So for example, in his stand 1 string, right, his string is 1 2 2, right? The second hit of 1 2 2 reaches really far, right? So if you're doing this, you can throw that out. And if that second hit clips, you can then, for example, EX teleport, right? See, and then you're in their face with hit advantage. Because this hit, that's 11, it leaves you a plus 11. See? So there, you can go ahead and create opportunities where you can press the button before them. And that's pretty much it for his pokes. But hopefully you can see how, like, trying to find buttons that let you control the space in front of you are a really big deal. And then finally, to kind of close out the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what neutral is. So I'm going to go more in depth in this after, but neutral is the chess game when both of you are trying to control the space between you and them. So for example, I know that Sub-Zero, his stand 2, reaches this far, right? So from here it'll still hit. But from here it won't. Well, if I'm using Scorpion, his move will reach. So this is a range where Scorpion has advantage, because he can reach Sub-Zero with his buttons, but Sub-Zero's buttons are less effective. He'd have to do something like forward 1, right? And forward 1 is a slower move than Scorpion stand 2. See, so a Scorpion player is going to want to be here, in this range, where he can hit you, but you can't hit him. So you can see here how the difference in pokes dictates what each character is going to do. So since Sub-Zero can't really reach Scorpion that well, he's going to try to get in, and he might then instead go for a poke like down 3, even though it doesn't lead to a combo. Because if he hits here, he can land that if Scorpion tries to move, and then that becomes a full combo like you guys saw earlier. And that's basically the idea. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys, just kind of diving a little bit into neutral, understanding what pokes are a little bit better. In the next video I'm going to go over a couple other topics. We are going to eventually cover frame data and cover an actual like game plan of footsies and whip punching and all that. But like always guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And if there's anything you'd like for me to do a video on, go ahead and leave a comment down. Let me know. I do read all the comments, and I really appreciate you guys' support. We hit 200 subs not long ago, which is insane. That's awesome. I didn't think it would go like that when I started. But as always, guys, this has been your boy Musha, and be easy.